back seat. It looks so dirty. Hello there. So I am in Costa Mesa. I just stopped at Native Foods. I'm actually in the wrong parking lot of a different business. There's nobody in this lot, but there's signs everywhere warning that you'll get towed if you're not a customer, and I'm not a customer, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, I just went to Native Foods. I had not been to Native Foods in over a year. I remember the last time I went was September 2019. And I remember because it was during Blogtober. It was right after I went to the Tanaka Farms pumpkin patch. That being said though, I do love Native Foods, and this is like one place that I would totally go to like so much more often if they were closer. Like I think I said, I'm at the one in Costa Mesa, which is like 22 miles from my house. There's also one in West LA, which is like 24 miles away. So not super close. Like ironically, I think in recent years, the most times I've gone to Native Foods was when I was like traveling. Like I've gone to the ones in Palm Springs, Palm Desert area. And also there's one in San Diego that I went to last time I was there. So let me tell you about what I ordered. They have been doing, I wasn't following them on Instagram, like I said, because they're not close. And I just started following them recently, and they've been coming out with like pretty good looking specials. I think the first one that caught my attention was like a bulgogi beef sandwich, and or was it a bulgogi cheesesteak or something, but I didn't catch it until it was already over, or it was like the last day, so I didn't get a chance to try it, but that would have totally been something I would have wanted. So yesterday or the day before they posted this. This is the Thai peanut chicken sandwich. It says this beauty comes with 2 grilled plant-based chicken patties, a Thai peanut slaw, crispy onions, cilantro, and a super flavorful Thai peanut sauce. Comes served on a toasted pretzel bun and with a side of your choice. So I think Native Foods, usually their sides are like kind of, or their items are like a la carte. So if you want to add a side, it costs extra, but I think the specials usually come with a side. So the other thing that I got, this is a last minute edition. I got the chocolate peanut butter parfait. These are so freaking good. I don't even know what's in here. I want to say there's like also maybe banana in there too, but I don't know. It's got like some chocolate chip cookies or something. Crumbled on the bottom and on the top, and then it's got like a peanut butter pudding in the middle, and then like actual chocolate chips on top. They also had like some oatmeal cookie pies in there that looked really good, and I almost regretted my decision, but I've had these before several times and it's been a long time, so I feel like I was due for one. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but the burger, like the chicken patties, they're not huge, which is okay, because I thought it was going to be like this massive sandwich, and like those usually end up being kind of challenging to eat. I feel like this is a good size, and if I had to guess, I would say they're probably seitan. I know Native Foods uses seitan a lot, which I like. Interesting. It's gonna sound weird, but I feel like the first bite reminded me a little bit of like Thanksgiving food. Okay, actually I'll get very specific. The first bite reminded me of the like the turkey cutting station. Where was it? There was like this buffet place. It was like a Swedish buffet in Torrance where I grew up. I want to say it was called like Smorgasbord. Anyway, yeah, they had one of those like meat carving stations, and it reminds me of that. The second bite, not so much. The second bite, I could taste like the Asian slaw flavor. Their fries are really good too. I feel like I should mention that while I'm scarfing them down. They're like little matchstick, like seasoned fries. Actually, now that I think about it, I remember Native Foods was the first place. So I really like French fries with Cholula hot sauce. Native Foods is the first place I ever ate them that way because they put Cholula on the table. But yeah, that was probably like 9 or 10 years ago. The first time I ever ate at Native Foods. Actually, wait, no, the first time I ever ate at Native Foods was one of the ones in Palm Desert area. I remember I drove to Arizona by myself like 3 months after I went vegan, and I remember thinking like it was going to be really difficult to stay vegan on my trip, even though it was just like a short trip. Nobody that I was going to visit were vegan, and I was inexperienced, and but luckily the friends that I was staying with, that I was going to see, were like super accommodating and made sure that we went places that I could get vegan food. And then did I stop at Native Foods on the way there, or on the way? It was on the way home, and I got the Oklahoma bacon cheeseburger, and it was one of the best burgers that I had had in my life. And also keep in mind that like 3 months prior I was eating beef, and it was still like one of the best. And I remember they also used to, I had a cup of coffee too, and I remember they used to serve their coffee in like little flower pot cups that were so cute. I don't know if they have those anymore. Okay, yeah, this sandwich was a good call. This is really good. Highly recommend it. I don't know how long it's going to be available. I know it's limited time. If I can find out, I'll put it on the screen. But I know that their past specials haven't lasted very long. I want to say like 1 or 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm glad I came here today. I almost went to a different restaurant in Long Beach. So I live in San Pedro. Long Beach is like 15 minutes away. It's not too far. But parking in Long Beach tends to be terrible, and I didn't know the exact location. Like, I hadn't been there before, the restaurant that I was thinking about going to today. And I had been here before, and I knew that there was usually a decent amount of parking. So now that I think about it, so I'm in Costa Mesa. The restaurant I was thinking about going to in Long Beach was Seabirds. I've never been to the Seabirds in Long Beach before, but I have been to the Seabirds in Costa Mesa. And it's literally right across the street. Native Foods is like right there, like right there. Seabirds is right there. I feel like I could almost see it from here. So I have been to that Seabirds before. So yeah, that didn't happen today, but soon it will. I actually have a little bit of an eating series planned that I'm not going to tell you the full details of yet, but you'll catch on. I also want to make sure that it's something that I can do first before I announce it. But if you watch the videos on Saturdays, watch the videos that come out on Saturdays and you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, I really like this sandwich, and I wasn't sure I was going to. I usually do really like Asian food and like Asian influenced food, but I didn't know if it was going to work in a sandwich, but it does. I feel like Native Foods food like reminds me of it's like if Veggie Grill did everything right, it would be Native Foods. I'm pretty sure Veggie Grill is like one of the only vegan restaurants that I am comfortable like openly dragging, but they've just disappointed me time and time again, and I keep going back and keep being disappointed. But if like there is a Veggie Grill in Torrance, which is not too far from me, if I could swap them for a Native Foods, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would be so happy. I feel like that might be part of the reason that I assume this might not be good, because I'm used to Veggie Grill, and Veggie Grill like tries stuff like this sometimes, but it never works. Like, it's just never good. It's just, it comes out weird. This, on the other hand, is not mediocre. If I had to rank this, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe 9.5, maybe 9.25. I also realized another reason I haven't been to Native Foods too much is, lately anyway, is because they took a couple of my favorite things off the menu. My go-to order was usually the soul bowl, which was like, was it tofu or seitan? They had like some kind of barbecue, like fake chicken. They had cornbread. They had, oh man, I don't even remember what it was. So they had kale and, like veggies, carrots and stuff. And then there had to be some kind of carb in there. Was it rice? It might have been rice. I don't think it was potatoes. Maybe it was potatoes. And then my other favorite was the Oklahoma bacon cheeseburger, which is what I said I got in on my way to Arizona. That one had like a burger patty. It had seitan bacon. Did it have onion rings? I don't think it had onion rings. It definitely had fried pickle chips, which were amazing. I think that's the only place I've ever had fried pickle chips, and I was really sad when they stopped serving them. And that was like a big burger too, the Oklahoma. Like, I know I've said I don't usually like big burgers that are like difficult to eat, but that one was worth it. That's actually really funny. I can't believe Seabirds is right there. Maybe instead of dealing with Long Beach parking, because there are some restaurants that I want to go to in Long Beach, so I'm gonna have to deal with it eventually. But maybe not that day. Maybe I'll just come down here to Costa Mesa. To be honest though, parking in this complex, I think it's called the Camp, it's usually not that great, but it's still better than Long Beach. Also, speaking of which, if you're familiar with this area, more familiar than I am, and you can tell me something that I can do that's like by myself, social distanced, because I do usually like to, when I go out of my way to try a restaurant, I like to plan it along with like some kind of activity. So I'm like feeding two birds with one scone. I like love and hate that analogy because birds technically are not really supposed to eat bread, so don't feed them scones, but I think it's cute. But anyway, yeah, I do like to go and like do something along with my eating, but usually that would involve like going into a store or something like that, which I'm trying not to do right now, at least not just for fun. Like, I try to just go to the store for necessities. So if you know something in Orange County and Costa Mesa, or in LA and Southern California in general, that you have done that feels pretty safe, that is pretty isolated. I feel like that sounds contradictory, like it's isolated, like you're gonna get murdered. But yeah, like, how are you guys, if you live in this area, or even if you don't, honestly, how are you guys keeping yourself like occupied? What are you doing outside of the house? Because I think the last thing that I did for just funsies was Knott's Taste of Mary Farm, and that was like sometime in November. When was that? It was before Thanksgiving, right? I want to say it was like mid to early November. And that was like right around the time that I started thinking like, hey, I should stop doing stuff like this. I mean, not stuff like this, but stuff like going out to Knott's. Like if Knott's announced an event tomorrow, I wouldn't go. That is done. Like, I still haven't even been to Buena Vista Street since it reopened, and I think that was early December. Please be a spoon. Please be a spoon. Okay, so I was debating whether I'm going to eat my Parfait right now or save it until I get home. And the only utensils I brought with me are chopsticks, a knife, and a fork. So I guess I'm going to go home, but I don't need to taste test that. I can already tell you. I've had it before, and it's good. I do have my kombucha also that I brought from home, so I guess that will tide me over until I get there. But that was really good food. Come to Native Foods if you haven't been, or if you haven't been here in a while. Like, I'm really glad that I came here today though. Like, not just because the food was good, but like you may have gathered, I'm getting a little bit restless being stuck in the house, and so just having an excuse to drive a little bit further out of my way. I think it took, what, 30 minutes to get here? So to like listen to my Spotify playlist and stuff, like it was kind of worth it to go out of the way. So anyway, I'm gonna make the drive home now and edit this video because it's gonna get posted today, and I will see you tomorrow.